Getting started with this one at number 10 with the man himself, Jesus. I mean, whoa, at the end of the clip, it looks like Jesus is looking straight into your soul and he's judging you. Now, I know there's gonna be a lot of conflicting comments in this one, but seriously, do you guys think that this Jesus statue is actually blinking his eyes and moving his mouth? Or do you think this is an animatronic or a robot thing and it's not a statue, it's just made out to look like one? I've read that a lot of churches will come up with deceiving ways to make it look like their religious statues are moving so that people will attend their church. So I think that might be the case here. It would be both extremely scary and interesting if the statue was actually moving though. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hashtag it moved or hashtag hell no. The rotating Egyptian statue spins into number 9. An ancient Egyptian statue caused a lot of pandemonium at a museum in Manchester when it was discovered that it was turning on its axis inside of its display case. Curators and workers at the museum immediately said that this ancient statue must be cursed because there is no other logical explanation for it. I'll let you guys be the judge. Here's a clip of this creepy statue moving in its sealed display case. This statue is dated back to the 1800s BC and it was found in a mummy's tomb, so I get why people think that the statue was cursed. The workers were so scared of this phenomenon, so they decided to record it moving on a time-lapse video, and they were astonished that the statue spun 180 degrees without anyone going near it. Well, I hate to burst your bubble here, but the statue isn't cursed with an ancient spell. It rotates because there is a small vibration in the display case that causes it to turn. So I guess we don't have to call a witch to lift a spell. We don't need to call the Ghostbusters either. Virgin Mary moves lips during a prayer, and this stage phenomenon makes its way onto this list at number 8. Alright, so back in July of 2015, there were some reports over in Australia that a painting of the Virgin Mary was seen moving her lips. Apparently her lips were moving in sync of a prayer at the Charbells Church, and there was actually 3 people who witnessed this. One of them managed to film the incident, so here it is for you guys.
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
So this footage was quickly uploaded onto the internet, and a lot of Catholic people believe that this is a very special miracle. But of course, there are a lot of skeptics who argue that this is actually a hoax. I'm one of those skeptics. They claim that the movement of the camera and the lighting in the church act as an optical illusion, and that's why it looked like her lips are moving. Well, I hate to burst your bubbles, but even the church stated that they believe that this video is nothing more than an optical illusion. Buddha statue makes its way onto this list at number 7. Over in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, several Buddha statues in the Phu Xian service center was caught moving. Now this really happened. I couldn't even make this stuff up even if I wanted to. If I was in this temple praying, I think I would bolt to the door. A lot of worshippers stayed in the temple because they believed that these Buddha statues were trying to send them a positive message, but personally I would find the nearest exit, bathe in some holy water, and I probably wouldn't have any statues or gnomes at my house anytime soon. These Buddha statues were seen moving their lips, blinking, moving their chest and hands, and emitting light. This happened for almost an hour straight, and of course I have a clip for you guys. Okay, is this real life right now? Did you guys see the statue blink and emitting a bright light? Kinda creepy. After the service ended, 100 people lined up to speak to the abbot of the temple to tell him that they saw these statues moving. This is too much for me. I can't handle this one, so let's move on. Up next, number 6, we have this mysterious statue that was caught moving. As you guys probably guessed, a lot of these statues that were caught moving are religious figures or artifacts, and this is no different. I'm about to play you guys a clip of Sai Baba statue, and it's moving on camera. Sai Baba is an Indian spiritual leader who is regarded as a saint. So let's take a look at the clip I have for you guys. This was a night vision camera that was able to capture the statue moving on its own. It looks like the statue used its arms to remove the decoration that it's hanging on its neck. I don't know about you guys, but I find this extremely creepy, and I think I'm about to go back to my condo and remove all my statues from my house. Anything that sits still in my house, I am moving. I don't want anything moving at this time. I definitely wouldn't want to catch my Groot statue moving, or would I? Actually, I have a baby Groot at home, and that would be kind of cool to have a baby Groot as a friend. In at number 5, get ready and pray, because we're talking about Jesus. I'm about to play a clip for you guys of a Jesus statue moving his head, and this is during a Catholic procession. Get your Bibles out and prepare to be scared. Okay, did you guys see that? A lot of religious people say that this is a true sign from God, while others claim that this footage is fake because they can see the cloth of the statue's back moving. Either way, this clip was filmed during the pilgrimage in 2004 in a city called Saltillo in Mexico, and ever since it was uploaded onto YouTube, it has sparked a lot of controversy. Some people can't believe that others would swallow this story, while others are claiming that they have just seen other Jesus statues do the same thing, and one person even said that his Virgin Mary statue that he keeps in his house has been weeping blood for 4 months. I mean, whoa, buddy, what kind of sins have you committed? Your Virgin Mary is crying out blood? I think it's time to get out of the house. Go and pray. So yeah, I think it's time to repent and visit a confession. Maybe turn yourself into the police, because something is up. Let's stay on topic of Jesus in at number 4. Yep, Jesus did it again. A crucified Jesus statue was seen moving its head during a Good Friday Mass in the Mexican state of Jalisco. Worshippers who attended the event said that his head moved slightly and that it was a miracle. They believed that he wanted to tell them something, or that he wanted something from them. Let's not take their word for it. Have a look for yourself. What do you guys think? Was this some sort of miracle, or could there be another reasonable explanation? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I'm actually pretty curious on what you guys have to say about this. Despite a lot of the worshippers believing that this Jesus statue was a miracle, the priest of the Mexican church claims that there is a lot more logical explanations. He claims that the statue's head collapsed because the ropes holding it became loose. Let's maybe stray away from Jesus for a little bit, just for a little bit. Don't be hating on me now. And let's talk about Snow White. And Snow White comes in at number 3. This footage was captured by an anonymous source, and if you look closely, you're able to see the Snow White statue blinking. Just a warning though, you probably shouldn't watch this video if you're weak at heart. Okay, no, that's no joke. This doesn't sit well with me, and I don't think we'll ever be able to get that image out of our heads. I mean, come on. The statue's eyes are painted on, and she doesn't have any eyelids, so how the heck is this even possible? We are being trolled. We have to be, right? There are some scary witchcraft going on here, or she's possessed by the blinking demon. Okay, moving on to number 2 on our list, we have the Virgin Mary statue. A Hispanic church in southeastern Mexico is attracting a lot of people from all over the world because a lot of people are claiming that she is weeping tears from her eyes. But I'll play the clip and let you guys be the judge. Do you guys think this is real? Apparently people visit the statue to pray and cry to her with hopes of being healed. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I would ever visit a statue that is known to cry. This just seems super weird, super scary. I'm not sure what to think of it. Maybe possessed. Maybe it's possessed by an evil spirit. But then again, there are a lot of other people who say that unless the Pope verifies that the statue is really crying, it must be a hoax. Finally, at the top spot on our list, number 1, we have this creepy statue, and of course, I have to warn you guys with this one. This clip is actually really creepy, and I think you're gonna have nightmares for days because of it, so you're welcome. Yeah, I warned you guys, so I'm sorry parents for kids not being able to sleep tonight. I think we're going to need to start a support group for people who have witnessed statues moving because this video is a little bit too much to handle. And what is it with Jesus statues moving all over the world? I'm a little bit concerned about this. After this video was uploaded onto the internet, paranormal investigators and experts spent weeks investigating this video, and they concluded that this video wasn't edited in any way, which scares me so much. Apparently more than 20 paranormal specialists, as well as priests, sculptors, video editors, and other special effect designers, they've spent a long time analyzing this video. So basically a bunch of professionals looked into this video and said that it was real. I don't know if I believe it still, although it got checked out by analysts. I don't know, unless I'm there, I could see the original footage. I just can't believe it, because how is it even possible? A Virgin Mary statue weeping oil soaks into number 10. A large number of religious people surround a statue of the Virgin Mary in northern Israel because the statue is known for weeping a healing oil. A family who owns this statue strongly believes that the Virgin Mary statue weeps miracle oil that is known to heal different kinds of sicknesses and diseases. Let's take a look at the statue for ourselves. Okay, what do you guys think? Could this be some kind of miracle healing oil, or is it just a scheme that this family came up with? I think it might be a placebo effect because these people truly want to believe that the statue is responsible for producing miracle oil, but I'm pretty skeptical about this. But I don't know how you would explain the oil coming from her eyes, whether this is real or not. I'm officially creeped out here, so let's quickly move on to number 9. A Hindu goddess eyes caught blinking blinks its way into number 9 on this list. This statue is Lord Kali, and this Hindu goddess is known as the destroyer of evil forces, and she is also seen as a divine protector. So it seems like she'd be a good statue to have in your home, right? Well, according to this video, I'm not too sure anymore. Take a look at this. It literally looks like the statue's eyes are piercing through your soul and watching every move you make. Maybe the person who filmed this was an evil person, and the statue was like, yeah, I see you. Don't come any closer. And what's going on with her skull necklace? She doesn't seem like a very inviting or friendly goddess to me. Her eyes freaked me out, and I think after watching this video, I probably won't be able to sleep at night. Oh, and did you guys notice that scary looking sickle she's holding on to? This statue is too much for me. Next up, number 8, we have a moving doll statue caught moving on camera. This video is in Spanish, so let me translate it for you. Hello, I'm a possessed doll, and I'm coming to kill you. So basically, this is a very possessed doll that was given to this young girl on her 15th birthday. I'm pretty sure I'd rather stick to the brand new car. Or is that 16? Is Sweet 16 the brand new car? The girl in this video is making fun of her doll, and she's saying that the doll is really ugly. Well, I guess the doll didn't like this too much because this happened shortly after. The evil doll wasn't going to take any of her negativity. She moved her head and gave the teenage girl a death stare. I'm kind of on this doll's side here. Now, obviously, I'd probably burn this doll, bury it far away from me, or dump it into a fast-moving river, make sure, it doesn't come back. But you know what? I'm kind of glad this doll stood up for herself. I'm just glad I've never had to deal with a possessed doll that could probably murder me in my sleep. Have you guys ever experienced anything like this? Let me know your craziest stories in the comment section below. Virgin Mary opens her eyes, and this makes its way into this list at number 5. On our previous list, there was a lot of Jesus statues caught moving on camera, but on this list, we have a lot of Virgin Mary statues moving on camera. What is worse? I don't know what it is with these religious statues, but it is a huge phenomenon all over the world. This list is making me want to get rid of any statues that I have because I don't want them lurking into my place at night planning on how they're going to kill me or even punish me or just scare the bejesus out of me. But anyways, this creepy Virgin Mary statue was caught on a surveillance camera opening and closing her eyes. She looks like she was made out of concrete or stone, and I don't have an explanation for this. I don't know how this is happening. I'll play the clip, and in the comment section below, tell me what you think caused the eyes to move. I'm at loss for words here. I feel like I should go pray or bathe in holy water like now. So you know what? It's time to change things up. Let's talk about the Krishna statue, and this comes in number 4. Krishna is one of the major gods in Hinduism, who is the god of compassion, tenderness, and love. This particular statue was seen moving after someone reviewed a security camera one night. Hopefully this doesn't freak you out too much, but take a look at this. It looks like Krishna moved his right arm, and people who discovered him moving have no idea how he did it. There is literally no explanation for this, and I'm not sure if I want an explanation for this. I mean, is this real life right now? I don't know how inanimate objects move on their own. Some people will say that, it's a camera trick, people have good editing skills, and some will say it's the power of God, or I say it's possessed by some evil spirits. I think it's just creepy, and I need someone to come up with a logical explanation as to why these statues appear to be moving on their own, because I don't know how much of this creepiness I can actually handle. Hanuman drinking from a spoon makes its way onto this list at number 3. Hanuman is the symbol of strength and energy, and he is worshipped for his unselfish devotion to God. Well, apparently he also enjoys drinking milky substances from a spoon. I don't know how to explain this one. I mean, does this statue have some sort of vacuum in his mouth and that's how he's able to drink the liquid? Or is he really drinking from a spoon? A lot of people in the comment section of this video are saying that the statue is robotic, but then there are a lot of people who believe that the statue is actually moving on its own. I need to know the truth here. We need to start a moving statue investigation club or something, because I think it's time that we have answers. A Jesus statue moves his head. Oh, I couldn't believe this one. And this brings us into number 2. You didn't think I'd go through another statue video and not have Jesus in it, did you? Well, yeah, we had it. So we're talking about Jesus again. There's literally so many videos of Jesus statues moving during a religious ceremony, and this one is no exception. Let's take a look at this scary clip. Okay, so this video that you just saw was uploaded by someone who went to a church in Mexico, and once the statue moved his head, the priest seemed to stumble on his words. He was so mystified by the moving statue. I would stumble on my words too. Actually, no. I would stop talking, dismiss everyone, and probably get the hell out of there. I don't think this is supposed to be some sort of miracle. I don't think I'd be around a moving Jesus statue, because statues aren't supposed to be moving here. I don't know how people could be so calm about this. Okay, moving into the number 1 spot, we have a statue in a cemetery who opens and closes her eyes. I honestly don't know who has the time or energy to stand in a creepy cemetery to film statues, moving all day. I think it's time for a more healthy and productive hobby, because this one is actually kind of disturbing. But as you saw from the video, this stone statue was caught opening and closing her eyes, and I don't see how this is remotely possible, because she is literally made from stone. Her eyelids aren't supposed to be able to move. The entire video is a minute long. If I was filming a statue and it blinked at me, I'm pretty sure I would drop my camera and run for my life. But no, this person actually decided to stick around for some reason. That's why I believe this thing is not real. And at number 10 spot, we have a Virgin Mary statue whose lips appear to be moving during a prayer. You don't believe me? Well, let's roll the footage.
Come, Holy Spirit, come by me through the fire of intercession of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, your own spouse.
If you look very closely at her lips, they actually do look like they're moving with the prayer, but a lot of people are arguing that it could be lighting or even a camera trick. I don't know what it is with religious statues caught moving on camera, but it happens in many churches and other religious locations. Do you guys think that the statue was really moving, or do you guys think this is a camera trick? Some people even say that churches claim that these statues are moving in order to attract more people into the church. I don't know about you, but that would not attract me. You're talking about a moving statue, I'm not going in. It's time to pray, because things are getting even more scary, and at number 9, we have a cemetery statue that has been caught moving. I mean, is this real life right now? How is this statue not demolished and drenched in holy water? You gotta get the demon out of it. Whatever is making it move has to go. Well, apparently there's a statue located in Mount Olivet Cemetery in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is here in Canada. Well, it is known to be a dancing statue. It is believed that if you go to this scary cemetery at night, and shine your car's headlight on the Jesus statue, and then stare at him long enough, he will begin to dance. You're getting a dancing Jesus. First of all, what kind of person would visit a scary cemetery at night? And secondly, why would you wait for a creepy old statue to start dancing for you? Unless it was for YouTube or something, because, you know, we gotta get views on here somehow. You know what? I think there's a little bit of the instructions left out for you. There's actually 3 steps. The third step is you have to take a hallucinogenic so you can see the statue move, because other than that, I don't think he's going to move. I'm not sure if I believe this or if I believe any of this, but it is insane. And like I said, a lot of you guys are actually sending me footage of moving statues on my Twitter, Outland and YouTube, and I'm enjoying it, but you guys are freaking me out. Making our way in at number 8 with another Virgin Mary statue, and it was caught moving on camera. And you know what? Let's see what the commotion is about with this one. Here's a video clip for you guys. Thousands of people have claimed that during a processional that they've witnessed this Virgin Mary statue moving in Tapio, Vietnam. They said that when the statue moved, her cloak began to float, and then she turned her head. And you know what? I think I'm gonna have to call BS on this video. I mean, it looks like a windy day, and the person filming this was extremely shaky. I'm more concerned that this person might be actually having a seizure instead of seeing whether or not the statue is really moving. I think our focus is on the wrong thing here. I don't know, I'm just saying. Okay, you know what? Let's change things up in at number 7 with the moving Buddha statue. Let's watch the clip. Okay, did you guys see that? This giant Buddha statue's head looks like it was moving up and down. Some people in the comment section also said that you can actually see his lips moving slightly. So you know what? I kind of missed it. Let's take another look. I seriously don't know what to believe anymore. What is real? These statues are freaking me out, and we're not even halfway through this list, and I really hope we don't have to make a part 4 of this. Please don't demand it. I think I'm really gonna have to look through my house and remove any statue or just any figures that can possibly move, and we're gonna have a yard sale for other people who are interested in them. And I'll have a sign that says possessed items for sale, $500 minimum. Our Lady of Guadalupe statue crying makes its way onto this list at number 6. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a long cry after seeing this video because all these statues are scary. Well, thousands of people from around the world are coming to Hobbs Church to see a statue after they heard the Lady of Guadalupe statue started to cry during a mass. These religious people firmly believe that these tears are an act of God and that the statue is nothing short of a miracle. The priest at this church believed that the statue is weeping because of all of its recent violence that is happening in the United States from around the world. Her tears have been tested, and it was confirmed that her tears were made up of rose water, and as soon as you enter the church, you can actually smell it. I don't think I'm going to be buying a plane ticket anytime soon to, verify this. I'll just leave it out there, and I'll just believe it. Moving statues in Ireland makes its way onto this list at number 5. Alright, so moving statues have been a huge phenomenon in Ireland since the summer of 1985. What happened before that? I don't really know. Well, in several different parts of the country, statues of the Virgin Mary were reported to have moved spontaneously. In County Cork, a person claimed to have seen a roadside statue of the Virgin Mary moving on her own. After he went public with what he saw, there were similar occurrences that were reported shortly after in other parts of the country. Not all of these reports were of the Virgin Mary statue. Other people claimed that they have seen other divine statues moving in churches and on the mountainside. Despite the Catholic Church taking a spectacle stance, thousands of people visited Ireland each year to hopefully see one of these statues moving with their own eyes. Virgin Mary lips caught moving, and this brings us into number 4. I wasn't lying when I told you guys at the beginning of the video that a lot of these statues caught moving are religious statues. As you will see, majority of them are of the Virgin Mary statue. I wonder if it has any significance. It might. Well, as promised, let's take a look at the clip of this Virgin Mary statue moving her lips. I could clearly see her moving her lips. I don't know about you guys. Again, I'm not sure whether this is a camera or a lighting trick. I mean, for me to believe this, I really have to be there in person and it has to be moving in real life. But if it moved, I would be running. As soon as it moved, I would just take off in fear. I bet this statue attracts a lot of people because they want to see it with their own eyes. One thing I notice a lot in the comment section of these videos is that a lot of people think that it is a sin to pray and worship statues. It's actually kind of scary in the comment section. There are a lot of people with really strong opinions on these religious figures caught moving on camera. Okay, next up, this one will freak you out. We have a Virgin Mary statue that grows taller. It smiles and cries. Well, the statue makes it into our list at number 3. A priest noticed that a statue originally made of fiberglass has turned into porcelain and grew taller by 7.5 centimeters. Is the statue going through a growth spurt? I mean, it seems to me the statue could have been swapped out by a prankster. Other people have claimed that the statue can also be seen smiling sometimes and also crying. I'm not a doctor, but I think this church has a bipolar statue on their hands. In all seriousness, the people who have seen this Virgin Mary statue in real life claim that she is a miracle and they feel different when they're looking at her. The priest who first noticed that the Virgin Mary statue was moving reported this to the Vatican in order to get the truth. Up next, and at our number 2 spot, we have the Virgin Mary statue crying. Yep, that's right. After this list, the Virgin Mary statue is going to be known as the crying statue. Seriously though, why are there so many Virgin Mary statues caught crying from around the world? Why aren't they happy? Isn't anyone else concerned? No? I guess it's just me then? So, you know what, let's take a look at another example of the Virgin Mary statue crying because I have footage for you guys. Did anyone else see that teardrop on her chin and just have a really big urge to just wipe it off? I'm always skeptical when I see or hear about statues caught crying because I think that there's no way that an inanimate object is able to produce tears. I seriously just don't understand this phenomenon. How is this even possible, and why aren't there more experts assigned to get the truth behind all of these crying statues? We need more CSIs, or otherwise known as crying statue investigators. And finally, topping this list in at number 1, you guys guessed it, we have a Virgin Mary statue. Well, this one's actually falling over. Take a look at this shocking clip. Well, you know what? I think it's safe to assume that these people carrying the statue are going straight to hell. This Virgin Mary statue was literally decapitated during this processional. This must have been so traumatizing. Imagine you're in church on a Sunday because you're a good person and you're praying, and one of the most iconic religious figures just falls, and then you see decapitation right in front of you. That can't be a good sign. But as I watched this video over and over, I noticed something weird with her mouth. Let's take another look at the clip, but this time I want you guys to pay attention to her mouth. Did you guys see her mouth open up? It's almost like she was screaming just as she was about to fall. This is almost too much to handle, and I'm really glad that this is the end of this video.
Filling our number 7 slot is the Toronto series. I was so surprised to find this story because A, I live in Toronto, B, I go to the waterfront all the time, and C, I never even saw any of these sculptures. So back in 2016, the arrival sculptures arrived at Island Park in Toronto. The first one was the Jubilant Man, who has his arms in the air hoping for something. The second is Orphan Boy, which is a little boy with his hands like this and looking just all around melancholy. The third is Pregnant Woman, which is basically a groaning woman holding her belly. We have the cringy apprehensive man, and finally the woman on ground, who's basically a dead woman who low-key looks like a recovered body from Pompeii. I kid you not, she looks exactly like that. All the sculptures are made of bronze, and many have claimed to see the dead woman move under the quilt or blanket sculpted on top of her. The sculptures made by Rowan Giuseppe were designed to honor the Great Famine that happened in the late 1840s in Ireland. People have speculated that the wandering souls of those who died in the famine went into that sculpture, and that's why it moves. I think that's a bit of a reach, but what do you guys think? Now at number 6 are the lions. Lions are my favorite animals, and for many reasons. Number 1, they're the king of the jungle. Number 2, I'm a Leo, so hello. 3, I love every type of feline. I'm a cat lady, you guys all know this, so a lion is just like the epitome of a feline. Either way, at the University of Cincinnati, there are 2 stone lion sculptures standing outside McMicken Hall. Now McMicken isn't a residence hall, it's strictly for classes and faculty members' offices. But with 21 departments operating inside of it, students are going in and out like nobody's business. Many students have reported hearing a growl at night, and clearly there's no rogue escaped lion near the campus, so it had to have come from the sculptures. Legend has it, or rather the students have speculated, that the sculptures only move if a cheetah or a virgin walks past them. For what reason specifically did they say cheetah or virgin? Only God knows. Coming in at number 5 is the smile. Now this one is such a tiny change, I had to watch the video a billion times to actually catch it. But back in 2016, at a church in Kuala Lumpur lies a sculpture of the Virgin Mary. Churchgoers claim the sculpture not only smiled, it moved its eyes and it grew taller. During a Sunday mass, the priest himself noticed the miracle and told everyone to look at her. She's looking at us, she had tears in her eyes. He went on to tell reporters that when they all started singing Ave Maria, she started smiling and moving her lips. Now she's made from fiberglass, but onlookers said she apparently not only turned into porcelain, but she grew 3 inches taller. I'm sorry? Like, I can suspend my disbelief enough and believe, okay, maybe she smiled, but to transform into another material and grow? Nah, I just feel like I'm on an episode of Punk'd right now. Ashton, come out already. At number 4 are the scented tears. Way back in 2002 in Perth, a fiberglass Virgin Mary started crying, but her tears smelled oddly nice. Her owner brought her back from Bangkok and announced to the media that her sculpture was crying, so a mass gathered at the small church she's located in to see it in person. Even the Archbishop of Perth believed the tears to be authentic, saying he thought it was a hoax at first, but saw it in person and was taken aback. To get to the bottom of this so-called miracle, scientists took samples of her tears to try and find out either what they were or where they were coming from. After x-raying the whole sculpture, they found no cavities or liquid inside of her. One of the local priests in Perth claimed if you use the tears as an oil, it can heal the sick. I mean, I don't know how useful that made-up remedy is, pal, but we salute you for trying your medieval ways. Filling our number 3 slot is Benjamin Franklin. Near the library of the American Philosophical Society in Philadelphia, there's a huge sculpture of Benjamin Franklin, which isn't really a surprise since he was one of the people who founded the society in 1743. Now I could tell you a lot more, but I'm not about to launch into a 2-minute history lecture about the society, even though I could, but I'll save you guys the boredom. By the late 19th century, after Franklin had died, many saw his ghost near the library just wandering around and I guess making sure people were learning efficiently. Legend has it that his statue comes to life and dances in the streets at night, and people who had seen it way back when had no way of recording or capturing that moment, so really it's all just hearsay. Like they say in the 21st century, pics or it didn't happen. Now at number 2 is the Doll's House. This is another one located very near to me, which took me by surprise as well, but also I'm low-key totally not mad at it. Located in Niagara Falls, the Canadian side, not the American side, the Doll's House was built in 1835 and it did a lot more than just house inanimate dolls. Apparently the house had a tunnel underneath it where slaves would be received after escaping from the American side. Apparently in one of these escapades, a young girl drowned in a well deep below the house. After that point, various sculptures inside the Doll's House would start moving all on their own, and a ghost of a girl carrying lilacs manifests near the staircase. Now I don't know who the ghost is, but I'm assuming she's the one who died in the well, unless there are more people that died that I don't know of. The house also weirdly always smells like lilacs, despite none being on the property. The sculptures are said to have moved on CCTV footage, and the owner of the house has frequently found them in a different place from the night before. Now let me tell you something I don't do. I don't do creepy dolls, I don't do moving sculpture dolls, and I don't do tomatoes. Hate them. I just hate them. I like ketchup though. And finally, at number 1 is Witch Bonnie. There are so many stories surrounding Witch Bonnie's origins, it's actually insane. Some claim she was a mill girl, others say she was hanged during the Salem witch trials, no one really knows. Her gravestone is located at Lowell Cemetery in Massachusetts, and it bears the names of her whole family. The cemetery is also home to the Witch Bonnie sculpture. Now her arms are outstretched, holding a sheet above her head and behind her. It looks like the sheet is majestically just billowing in the wind. Her eyes are staring at the sky, and there's a black tear under her left eye. Now in terms of outfit, she's wearing a toga sort of off-shoulder dress, and that lets you see the top parts of her breasts. Now legend has it that every October her dress starts getting lowered day by day, and by Halloween her breasts are fully exposed. Now that is scandalous. Expose them nipples, girl. But on a real note, Wiccans leave offerings for her every Halloween and congregate there, so surely if this did happen, someone would have seen it. Maybe Wiccans have seen it but are just choosing to keep it secret in their community. Who really knows?
So starting us off in at number 10, like we always do, with an Egyptian statues moving by itself at a Manchester museum. You can't really tell the statue is moving on its own until you speed it up. Once it's sped up, you can really notice this thing moving on its own. Okay, did you guys see that? Well, if you missed it, let's replay the video. The statue that's moving is right over here. So that was a 10-inch tall relic, which dates back to the 1800 BC, and it seems to still be alive today. It was found in a mummy tomb and has been at the Manchester Museum for 80 years. So maybe this thing has been moving ever since and we're just realizing now. Maybe the mummy is still alive within it. I don't want to mess around with mummies, so let's move on. And you know what? Let's move on to number 9. I don't know about you guys, but there is nothing for us to believe that this video is fake. It looks like what you see is what you get. And what we see was this motorcycle moving on its own. This motorcycle out of nowhere just decided to knock over its competition. I wonder if that spirit that moved the motorcycle was charged for reckless driving. Hopefully this spirit also didn't pick up a DWI, and that's because that crash seemed to be pretty avoidable. So maybe that spirit had too much to drink. How do we arrest it? I don't know. Maybe we call the Ghostbusters. Maybe we call Dean Winchester. Is that his name? You know, the guy from Supernatural? Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the show. I think it's been like 10 years, but I think his name's like Sam and Dean Winchester. Okay, moving on to number 8. We have a kid's toy cart that moved on its own by some sort of like spirit or maybe even a demon. Well, when I watch this, it freaks me out. If this for some reason is fake, I don't know why people are doing this. Why are people doing this to me? Maybe this guy was trying to freak out his daughter for some reason, or maybe they're just trying to get those YouTube views. Although this video only received like 300 views, the description of the video was, "I caught yet another demon moving a toy cart." So maybe this is a demon hunter and this guy caught this demon in action. Alright, let me take you guys into a very dark alley. I don't usually do this, but we're doing this at number 7. This is for sure one alley you might want to avoid because spirits are strong here. What you're about to see is a bit hard to see, but you will see a spirit thief successfully stealing a bike. Hopefully this isn't your bike, but watch this. The spirit thought he wasn't seen, but they were totally captured on CCTV camera. Let me show you guys an up close look at what you just saw. And clearly there's no one on that bike. Well, no one that we can see. If that is not creepy, I don't know what is. And how could you even report that to the police? My bike was stolen and I know who stole it. Well, actually I should say I know what stole it. Number 6. Okay, so that was very subtle movement by the chair, but I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be moving on its own. It's not just once that it moves. It kept moving and moving. There is for sure some paranormal activity happening in that living room. If I recorded this video and I viewed it the next day, I would be throwing out that chair. There's no way I'm gonna be able to live with myself knowing that there is a freaking spirit within that chair. So you gots to go. Moving into number 5, we have the real life Ted, who started moving because he thought no one saw him, but then he realized and then was like, oh shit. And then he went back down. He realized he was on camera. So yeah, the video I'm about to show you is kind of creepy and it happens pretty quickly. So watch. This is why I think I grew up kind of afraid of stuffed animals. I never looked at them for too long because if I saw them moving, I would freak out, so I kind of avoided eye contact. And clearly if the camera wasn't filming this bear, he would have gone all the way up and then who knows what he was capable of doing after that. Number 3 is going to freak you out, I promise you. And also make sure you guys turn down your speakers a little bit. This is a warning. And if you have earbuds in, yeah, maybe take one of them out. Because what you're about to see is a woman who just yells, like it's pretty loud. And that's because she's holding a doll and the doll decides to look at her. And she totally freaks out. And the video is kind of old, so I don't, and it's handheld. It seems super hard to fake. I think everything you're about to see is 100% real.
Bueno, aquí les presentamos a la muñeca de Bessie que se la regalaron sus 15 años.
Okay, holy shit. Okay, did I warn you or not? The doll just looks at the girl as if she was gonna like tell her something. She didn't even notice it at first until I think it was her mom filming. She told her that the doll moved, and then when she noticed it, she totally freaked out. Next up at number 2, we have a ghost chair that appears out of nowhere. What's scarier, objects moving on its own or objects that just appear out of thin air? Maybe it was sent to us from another dimension. Have you ever thought of that? Alright, so take a look at this video. Focus on the middle desk near the bottom of the screen. Someone pissed off that spirit. I don't even know where that chair came from. Maybe it was there the whole time and it was kind of hidden in the shadows or in the darkness, I'll call it. I was looking so many times, I replayed it over and over, and it just seems to come out of nowhere. And I know what you guys are thinking. There's probably someone under the desk who pushed the chair out. But if someone pushed the chair out, the chair would have hit the wall behind it. How was the chair pushed out and then moved sideways and like it went so far by like so much force? A lot of like evil spirits and evil forces. Also, this video was filmed way after hours, so unless someone was just heavily invested into this, they were underneath the desk for like 10 hours to pull this prank off, it seems like there might actually be a problem spirit in the office. And at number 10, with the YouTuber with a haunted doll. So in this video, the YouTuber Spunkflunk is making a video about getting verified on YouTube, but the video gets much more intense. Watch.
It'll only take like a few seconds and that'll get me to 1,000 followers probably within a,
It's almost as if the doll was waving to the audience like, hello there. If I was him, I would definitely move out of that house and burn that doll and hope it doesn't like reappear somewhere. He even got the EVP recorder app that is supposed to allow you to communicate with the possessed doll. I mean, why would you even consider doing something like this? I wouldn't let things escalate this far. Just get rid of the damn thing. You actually got an app to communicate with it? Really? Is this real life right now? Alright, moving into number 9 with a pile of creepy haunted dolls. Here's another person who invests their money into owning creepy killer dolls. I'm not, people are, to each their own, I say. But this one is the most extreme. Look at their collection. Why would anyone in the world need this many scary looking dolls? It's not even like a good investment because 99% of the population would not want to own any of these things. Especially this doll who is seen moving its arm. Watch. Creepy hospital stretcher rolls into its way at number 7. Staff at a hospital were terrified when they saw this footage of a stretcher moving on its own along a haunted corridor. At first the stretcher moves slowly backwards and forwards and then it starts to pick up speed a little bit. I know some of you guys are just saying that was probably just the wind, but all of these plants in the video are completely still. So that is no wind. That is something possessed in there. Haunted doll creeps its way into number 6. Here we have a footage of this creepy doll sitting on her chair just looking terrifying. I'm not sure why people actually buy these scary looking dolls. I mean, nothing ever comes good from purchasing an old doll that stares into your soul. We've watched a lot of movies, and yeah, we know they're not real, but they still freak us out, because what if they are? But let's take a look at this clip. Yeah, I think I would invest my money into something that won't kill me while I'm sleeping. Moving into number 5 with a hand puppet. A paranormal investigator was called in after the owner claimed that his puppet tried to choke him to death. The investigator filmed the puppet every night for 3 months using a timed night vision camera, and this is what they were able to capture. In this video, you can see this puppet moving across slowly upright, and then it crashes into the glass. Since the investigator started, she kept the puppet in a glass container that was blessed with holy water, just for extra safety. How about you do this? Bless it with the holy water, and then burn it on fire. Our next up, number 4, we have the creepy shelf doll. In this video, a father who is filming his daughter as they're stacking cups. As one of the girls begins to stack her cup, you can see in the background that a creepy little doll on the shelf slowly begins to rise up as if the doll wanted to watch. When they watched the footage back and saw the doll move, they stashed her away into a barn that they rarely use.